Congressman, I want to ask about something the New York Times is reporting this morning, that Donald Trump Jr., Paul Manafort, and Jared Kushner met at Trump Tower last June, again during the campaign, with a lawyer who is a high-profile Russian national. The president's eldest son told the newspaper that the meeting was primarily about an adoption program. Does this story raise questions for you?
It certainly raises questions for a variety of reasons. Of course, the president's son had denied having any kind of meetings like this. They claim that this meeting had nothing to do with the campaign, and yet the Trump campaign manager is invited to come to the meeting. And there's no reason for this Russian government advocate to be meeting with Paul Manafort or with Mr. Kushner or with the president's son if it wasn't about the campaign and Russia policy. Obviously, they were trying to influence one of the candidates, the leading candidate at that time, on the Republican ticket. So what we've heard thus far doesn't make much sense. What we just heard from the spokesman for the president's lawyer, suggesting somehow that this was contrived, maybe by Hillary Clinton, also doesn't make sense. So yes, we need to get to the bottom of it.
And does getting to the bottom of it mean potentially calling Donald Trump Jr. before your committee, which is investigating this?
I think we're going to want to question everyone that was at that meeting about what was discussed. By trying to frame it as about adoptions, it ignores what it sounds like the meeting may have really been about, and that is the Magnitsky Act, which is legislation, very powerful sanctions legislation that goes against Russian human rights abusers. So if this was an effort to do away with that sanctions policy, that is obviously very significant. If they're talking to the president's team, the then candidate Trump's team, that contradicts, of course, what the president and his people have said about whether they were meeting with any representatives of the Russian government.